Hello students, I hope all of you are doing very well. So in our today's tutorial video, we will study about Standard 12 Physics Volume 1 Unit 1 Section 182, that is energy stored in the capacitor, and Section 183, that is applications of capacitor. If you are new to my video, please subscribe my channel Pratik Singh Classes. Do like and share my channel to all your friends so that everybody should get benefits from my knowledge, and do hit the bell icon so that whenever I will upload a new video, you will get its instant notification. In your Chrome browser or YouTube browser or whatever browser you use, just type youtube.com/c/Pratik Singh Classes and it will lead you to all of my videos available there. Fine. So let us start our today's class. Okay, so let us start our today's video session. The topic is energy stored in the capacitor. About capacitors, we already have seen in our previous video in section 181. Fine. Capacitor not only stores the charge but also stores energy. Means other than charges, that means either positive charge or negative charge or ions, it also stores energy. How does it happen? Let us see. When a battery is connected to the capacitor, electrons of total charge minus Q are transferred from one plate to other plate. That means just suppose that there is a capacitor and it is connected to a battery. When it happens, when we switch it on, the charges will flow from the battery to the capacitor plates. Okay, suppose minus Q amount of charge has flowed from the battery to the capacitor. To transfer the charge, work is done by the battery. Means what happens here is, suppose we have a battery, okay, and it is connected to a capacitor. What happens there is, suppose this is a positive terminal, this is negative terminal of battery. Okay, when the charge will flow from the battery to the capacitor, again from one plate the charge will move to the other plate. That means when charge will move to the other plate, okay, from one to the other, some work must be done, and that work is done by the battery to push the charge from one plate to the other. This work done is stored as electrostatic potential energy in the capacitor. Always remember that the energy stored in capacitor is electrostatic potential energy. About electrostatic potential energy we have learned in our previous videos. Please go through the previous videos and see what really it is. To transfer an infinitesimal charge dq, means suppose we have to transfer very small amount of charge from one plate to the other plate, that is dq, for a potential difference v. The potential difference between the plates is v, or the potential difference between the terminals is v. Then the work done is given by dw is equal to v dq. We know very well that w is equal to v into q. For very small amount of charge, very small amount of work will be done. That is why the prefix d has come. So dw is equal to v dq, where v is equal to q by c. We know it very well, okay, that v is equal to q by c. Okay, the total work done to charge a capacitor is given by w is equal to integral qc into dq is equal to q square by 2c. Now see here, at the place of v in this equation 1.85, at the place of v we can substitute q by c as given here. Okay, so it has come here q by c into dq. So dw, in actual we will have dw is equal to q by c into dq. Okay, we have to integrate it both sides to find out total work done. Okay, that is from 0 to q. Okay, so here integral dw will become w as given in equation 1.86. Okay, so it will become w is equal to integral q by c into dq from 0 to q. It is equal to q square by 2c. So this is the total work done. All right. This work done is stored in the form of electrostatic potential energy of the capacitor or in the capacitor. So always remember that total work done W is equal to total energy consumed. Work done is equal to energy consumed, okay, or energy is stored from one place to other place or exchanged from one form to other form. That is why in equation 1.87 W is converted or changed or written as UE, that is electrostatic potential energy, is equal to q square by 2c. Here if you substitute q is equal to c into v, you will get this equation, half into cv square. This is total work done or total electrostatic potential energy in the capacitor. Okay, this stored energy is thus directly proportional to the capacitance of the capacitor and the square of the voltage between the plates of the capacitor, as you can see here in equation 1.87 that, okay, from equation 1.87 you can see that UE, that is electrostatic potential energy, is directly proportional to C and directly proportional to the square of the voltage, that is square of the voltage between the plates or voltage difference between the plates, and C is the capacitance of the capacitor. But where is this energy stored in the capacitor? Now here the question arises is, inside the capacitor, what is the location of this stored energy? To understand this question, the equation 1.87, that is this one, 1 by 2 into cv square, is rewritten as following using the result: C is equal to epsilon naught A by D and V is equal to E into D. Just at the place of C in equation 1.87, substitute this value, and at the place of V, substitute this value. This figure became too much blurred, so let me erase some of the terms here, okay, for clear visualization. Just a moment. Fine. Okay. So in equation 1.87, if you substitute the value of C as epsilon naught A by D and at the place of V as E into D, you will get UE, that is electrostatic potential energy, is equal to half into epsilon naught A by D into ED square, that is half into epsilon naught into A into D into E square. So this equation 1.88 is just the transformation of equation 1.87 in the other form, substituting these results which we have got in earlier equations. Fine. Alright, so here A into D, that is area into thickness. D is the thickness of the capacitor, or you can say height of the capacitor. So area into height is equal to volume of the space between the capacitor plates. Okay, the energy stored per unit volume of a space is defined as total energy density, or written as UA, and it is given by U by volume, that is electrostatic potential energy by total volume of the capacitor. Then from equation 1.88 we have UE is equal to half into epsilon naught into E square. Again from this equation we infer that the energy is stored in the electric field existing between the plates of the capacitor. That means in between the capacitor there will exist electric field, and that will be the situation or the position of energy stored. All right, once the capacitor is allowed to discharge, the energy is retrieved. Okay, discharge means it is giving out its energy. Okay, or in that situation energy is retrieved means energy will be positioned, or energy will transfer from one place to other place, or the energy will get converted into some useful work done. Okay, so that is the meaning of discharge. It is important to note that energy density depends only on the electric field and not on the size of the plate of the capacitor. Means higher will be the electric field, higher will be the energy density. Okay, it has nothing to do with what is the shape and size of the capacitor. In fact, expression 1.89, this one, UE is equal to half into epsilon naught into E square, is true for electric field due to any type of charge configuration and whatever is the size and shape of the capacitor. Okay, so it is true for all the size and shapes. Fine. Okay, fine. So now coming to the next topic, that is applications of capacitor, means where do we use capacitors. Okay, and in our day-to-day life, where can we see capacitors? Capacitors are used in various electronic circuit. A few of them are given below. Fine, let us see what are the things given. Alright, so on your screen you can see that this is a flash capacitor camera and this is Hz defibrillator. Okay, flash cameras you have used many times, okay, whether in digital camera or in mobile phone cameras, okay, or whatever type of camera you use for photography, okay, it has capacitors, and this is a great example of medical device, that is defibrillator. Okay, I don't want any of you to see this in your personal life. Okay, you might have seen this in movies. Okay, this is based on the application of capacitor. Now coming to the theory part, most people are now familiar with the digital camera. The flash which comes from the camera when we take photographs is due to the energy released from the capacitor and is called flash capacitor. So whenever we take photographs when flash is on, okay, just in a single click the camera gives huge light for a small instant. Okay, in that instant huge amount of energy is released in the form of photons or in the form of light. That is the example of flash capacitor. Fine. Okay, second example, during cardiac arrest, a device called Hz defibrillator is used to give a sudden surge of large amount of electrical energy to the patient's chest to retrieve the normal heart function. Means sometimes it happens that the person's heartbeat skips or the heart stops working for some certain time. In lieu of time, if the doctor gives a huge shock, okay, of energy, okay, the heart or the malfunctioned heart starts working in a normal way. Okay, so that is happening because of capacitor. This defibrillator uses a capacitor of 175 microfarad charged to a high voltage of around 2000 voltage. This shock can even lead to the death of any healthy person. Okay, coming to the third example, capacitors are used in the ignition system of automobile engine to eliminate sparking. You might have seen spark engines. Okay, whenever you see any bike which has name like DTSI 500, that is DTSI, dual twin spark ignition, their capacitors are used. Okay, it is used to start the engine running. Okay, about this you will study in brief when any one of you will do mechanical engineering in future or automobile engineering. Fine. So as of now, just remember that capacitors are used to automobile ignition system. Then capacitors are used to reduce power fluctuations in power supplies and to increase the efficiency of power transmission. Okay, these days you haven't seen stabilizers. Okay, because in all our electrical and electronic appliances stabilizers are inbuilt, but earlier there were stabilizers which used to reduce the fluctuations. There it is based on capacitors. Okay, and when energy fluctuation decreases, the lifetime of any electrical or electronic devices increases and its efficiency increases. However, capacitors have disadvantages as well. Everything which we use in our day-to-day life has advantage as well as disadvantage. Okay, what is it? Even after the battery or power supply is removed, the capacitor stores charges and energy for some time. Means suppose a capacitor is attached to a power supply, and if the power supply is cut off, then for some certain time also the energy is stored in the capacitors. For example, if the TV is switched off, it is always advisable not to touch the back side of TV panel, okay, because it contains huge number of capacitors, and up to some certain time, okay, whatever the time short is, okay, it contains energy. Sometimes you might have seen that when you switch off the TV and you bring your hand near the screen, okay, you will get goosebumps. That happens because still the energy stored in the capacitors of the TV. Fine. So that is the disadvantage. Okay, capacitors take some time to go from the upper charge limit to 0. That is why it is advisable not to touch any electronic devices after it is switched off. Or you might have seen in LED bulbs which contains capacitors, when you switch it off up to some certain time, whether it is very short, the bulb glows and it takes from limited luminous intensity to come to 0 position. Fine. So this is all about capacitors, its work done, and at last we have seen about what are the functions or what are the advantages of capacitors, applications of capacitors. I hope you have studied or learned something new today. Do watch my next video, that will be about some more topics related to capacitors. Fine. Till my next video, take care of yourself. Bye bye.